Hi, and welcome to another edition of Wired for Wealth, guiding you to achieve lasting financial freedom and peace of mind. I'm your host, John MacGregor. My goal for you is to help you think better so you can do better, so you can feel better about your financial situation. All right, we got a very important show today. But before we get into it, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell below, and don't forget to leave a message. Tell me some of the things that you want to hear about. It helps us create content that we know people want and they need, especially in today's environment. So, like I said today's a very important episode because what I want to do is I want to take you through what I call this evolution sequence. This is the common sequence or progression people go through in order to discover and achieve really the life they've always envisioned for themselves. This is the common sequence, the pattern that we've seen over the years of our students that have gone through from financial pain, stress, anxiety, to financial ease, confidence, and abundance, and total freedom. This is what they've gone through. And based on our data, this is the progression sequence our students have gone through. And I want to share this with you because perhaps you're going through the same thing, right? I've been working with people for over 27 years, but it was 15 years ago. I was having dinner with Robert Kiyosaki and his wife Kim and another mutual friend of ours named J.W. Wilson. Now, J.W. Wilson is a thought leader, a world thought leader in the field of neuroscience. And the conversation came around to what I was doing and what I'm dealing with and sort of those things. And I was expressing my frustration with my clients that they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. No matter how much planning we did, their behaviors never changed. And it really almost drove me to leave the business. Because although my clients were struggling, it was just so frustrating to see them continue to struggle, continue to what I continuously say, live on Pain Island. And maybe you understand what I'm saying by when I say live on Pain Island. And I was sharing with the group, the common practices that we did, that we were trained to do, right? Analyze the situation, determine the goals, implement the tools and the tactics and the strategies and the overall financial plan, right? That's what I was trained to do from the very best financial firm on Wall Street. And that's when JW interrupted me. He said, John, none of that old school traditional methods of trying to change people does not work. And he said, this is why. And this is what floored me. And this is what completely changed the trajectory of what I was doing. And that led to what I'm doing now. That's when he said to me, and I had that aha awakening moment. It was like hit me between the eyes. I can remember it was like it was yesterday. It still gives me goosebumps to think this. That's when JW leaned over and he said, John, information does not cause transformation. He said, all that stuff does not work because information does not cause information. And that's when I had that aha moment because I realized that's all I've been trying to do is give people more and more information expecting they're going to change. And a typical scenario is like this. Couple comes in my office, they lay out their financial information, and I quickly can tell, based on the analysis, that they are headed for ruin or they are headed to a really problematic situation if they continue doing what they're doing. The trend was headed down, and it clearly showed that they were never going to have that retirement that they've always dreamed of or envisioned for themselves and their families. And as soon as I showed them that chart, they'd get all nervous and they'd be nudging each other. It's like, honey, we got to do something. They'd look at me and they go, okay, John, what's the plan? So we'd take a deep dive, right? We do the analysis. I do the financial plan. We talk about the strategies and the tactics and all that stuff. We'd even execute the plan. And when they leave my office, we high five, we shake, we pinky swear, we hug, and they say, John, we are absolutely committed to this plan. And I will tell you, 9 out of 10 times or 10 out of 10 times, very quickly, if not right out the door, they're on their way to Best Buy or some electronics store to buy a new flat screen TV, right? On an already maxed out credit card or a new car dealership or whatever it is. What I'm trying to say is that all that financial planning we did and their 100% commitment, they are committed to the plan we agreed upon. Within a very short while, nothing changed. They're back to the same old behaviors. That financial plan had a shelf life of 15 minutes, maybe 15 days, right? Before they're back to living on Pain Island. Maybe you can relate to that story. And I saw that over and over and over again for so many years. And that's what drew my frustration. Well, when JW said that, And when I finally realized that what I was doing, which is the same thing every other financial planner does today, and it's not an attack on financial planners, right? That's what they were trained to do. But when I finally realized that those traditional methods was not affecting lasting change my clients needed, that was the turning point. And that's when I committed my life to uncovering the missing piece, the unsolved solution to this massive problem that's affecting a majority of people around the world. In fact, it's affecting 8 out of 10 people around the world. I knew deep down, I knew that there had to be a better way, a meaningful solution, something that actually works, something that created an environment that propelled people into making the right decisions with their money long term. And look, I knew it wasn't another financial plan. It wasn't another financial product. It wasn't another strategy or tool or tactic or any of those things that we use, that I used for years. That's when I set out to uncover the truth about why so many millions of people are not financially set in life, why so many people are not at peace financially, and why the statistics of people who were suffering were only getting worse, not better. What we discovered changed everything, I will tell you, and it's having a profound impact on people's lives around the world. What we discovered led to a revolution in financial guidance, health, and help. And this new revelation is rooted in neurological science. It's not just an opinion, it's science. And I will tell you, this is for individuals working 9-to-5 jobs. This is for small business owners. This is for entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter. It's for anyone looking to discover true financial freedom, abundance, and peace of mind. I found out the reason so many people struggle financially, even people with great jobs and great incomes, is about something, it was something deeper than just a lack of financial education or literacy or their background. And it certainly wasn't about more information. It's rooted much, much deeper than that. And I will tell you, when I discovered this, everything I've been doing in my entire career suddenly shifted. I mean, it all changed. And for the past 10 years, I've been sharing this revelation with people around the world. I'm invited to speak around the world to talk about this with so many people so they can once and for all say, enough is enough and finally take action. Because you know what? Honestly, everyone deserves to live a life that's void of financial stress and anxiety, really towards a life of financial freedom, independence, and peace of mind. And for the past 10 years, I've been working with people using this specific proven process. This process is called Thrive Path, and it's offered through the Thrive Path Academy. And over the years, we've been able to gather quite a bit of data on people, showing the journey they go through. And I want to share some of that data with you, because if you're looking for a new life, a new financial life, perhaps you can relate to this as well. Is that fair? So let me stop there, and I want to share my screen with you. This is the evolution sequence based on all the data we've been collecting on students that I've worked with. So here you go. Let's share my screen so I can show you this progression. All right. This is the evolution sequence. This is the process, the progression we see with our students that enter our process here at Thrive Path. And I want to share this with you, as I said before, because it might be a similar progression that you're on as well. And I think it's important for you to see this so you realize you're not alone, and you also realize that there is an actual solution. Now, look, I'm not here to promote Thrive Path or the Thrive Path Academy. All I'm saying is you need to embrace a process that works for you. Now, I do think that Thrive Path and the Thrive Path Academy is amazing. I think it's a game changer, but that's not what this is about. This is about you realizing that you need a process of change that works and works for you. So this is where it all begins when people come to us, right? Especially today with everything that's going on. I mean, think about what's going on. Inflation and gas prices and the stock market volatility, Russia, Ukraine, all kinds of craziness. I'm seeing more fear than ever before, and perhaps you're in that same situation. And that's okay. That's why you're watching this. And once people break through from fear and what fear is causing, they're dealing with a lot of stress, right? Stress and anxiety around their financial situation. Look, 78% of working adults are living paycheck to paycheck. 78% of working adults are living paycheck to paycheck. And that statistic was before
COVID. So it's likely even higher today. So that means 8 out of 10 people are dealing with prolonged financial stress. And stress is a leading cause of our most deadly diseases and health ailments. And research will tell you, any research will tell you that money is the root cause of stress. Stress causes our most deadly diseases, health ailments, including insomnia, which is really bad, high blood pressure, divorce, irritability, anxiousness, lack of productivity at work, bad habits, bad behaviors, etc. Stress is a killer, and money is the root cause of stress. So a lot of people, 78%, 8 out of 10 people are dealing with prolonged stress, and our body was never designed to handle prolonged stress. That's why this is so important. That's why I say this is a bigger epidemic than all diseases combined. From there, we see people in our process resulting in a lot of confusion, right? You may be feeling this way. They've tried other solutions. They've tried other programs. They've gone to financial universities. They've gone to financial advisors, and nothing seems to be working, right? They're fearful, they're stressed, and they're confused about their future. They don't know what to do. And this is very, very common. And once they get to this point in their life, once they get to not necessarily their breaking point, right? Or rock bottom, you don't have to hit that. But once people go through these top line fear, stress, confusion, they get to capitulation. They say, you know what? I give up. I can't take this anymore. And yes, sometimes we do see people hit rock bottom. And maybe it was that final credit card statement, or the constant harassment by creditors calling them at home or showing up at their door. Maybe it was the bankruptcy. Maybe it was the fear of not being able to enjoy that retirement that they've always envisioned for themselves. But people get to their breaking point and they capitulate and they say, all right, enough is enough. And that is a powerful, very powerful moment that people go through, because what this does is it leads to awareness. And awareness is a very powerful emotional feeling where people finally wake up and they realize what they're doing in their life, how they're spending their money, who they're spending time with is never going to get them what they want in life. And that's when they go, oh my gosh, that's when sort of the clouds lift and they realize that what they're doing is never going to get them what they want out of life. And that's a really powerful moment to go through. And it's really cool to watch people because it really awakens them to their future, right? Because once they go through awareness that what they're doing in their life and how they're behaving is never going to get them what they want, that's when they become open-minded. That's when they become receptive to a new process, a new way of doing things, a new way of thinking. And that's a very powerful stage we see people go through. From there, that's when people become receptive to a process. And process is absolutely key, but not any process, an effective, proven process that works. And I use this analogy of baking a cake, right? If you were to bake a cake and you had no idea how, would you just go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of ingredients thinking they would work and then come home and just throw stuff together, not knowing how much of each ingredient is needed, and then throw it into an oven, not knowing what temperature or how long to bake it for? No, I mean, what are the chances of having a successful, beautiful, delicious cake are in that scenario? Slim to none, right? No, the way you bake a beautiful and delicious cake is you follow a recipe, a proven recipe, a 5-star recipe that has worked in the past for other people, right? It's common sense. And then you would follow that process or that recipe, or whatever word you want to use. But the problem is that we've seen here at ThrivePath is that too many people think that they can do it on their own, or they can make it up on their own, or they can deviate from the process that has been established. And that is always typically a disaster for people. They enter this process, they wing it, or they do it themselves. They don't follow a proven process, and that's always a problem. Then the second thing that people need to do that we've seen people do is once they embrace a process, the second thing is they take action. And this is where people get hung up, right? This is where people stop, because just having a process and not taking action is just that. It's just a process, and that's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you to the life you want. So process and taking action are probably the two most important things you can do in order to achieve the life you desire, and of course, the life you deserve to live. Effective and proven process and action. This is where our successful students go to. They embrace the process, they follow it, very simple, and they take action. Those are the ones in our academy that have succeeded. Once you do that, you embrace the process, you've taken the action. What happens then is that you start to see clarity in your life. I talked about that awareness where the clouds kind of open up. Clarity is kind of where you have the guardrails, your focus. You know exactly what you want. You understand your vision in your life. You have clarity on what that looks like. You understand your mission and your purpose in life, and you've laid out and established the goals that you need to achieve in order to achieve your vision for your life and live a life of purpose. This is a really cool moment that we've experienced with a lot of our students when they suddenly see the clarity in their life, because now the train just takes off, right? Because from clarity, we see progress. And people just need a little taste of that progress to want more, right? It's almost like an addiction. They just get that feeling of progress, that things are changing in their life for the better, and they just want more of it. And it's like that snowball going downhill. You can't stop it, and it's just building. And then that kind of leads to the next stage that we see people come through, and that's momentum, right? They can't stop it. They are now unstoppable, and nothing is going to get in their way of them achieving their vision, their mission, their purpose, and their goals. They are unstoppable. And by this stage, their life is completely turned around. And like I said earlier, I have seen the worst cases completely turn around. And from momentum, you get passion. This is where you're passionate about life. You love life again, right? You're almost like a child. You're just a different person. You're that person you've always envisioned for yourself. You can't wait to get up in the morning. You can't wait to go exercise. You can't wait to go to work. You don't care about your bills. You're ready and willing to take them on at any time, right? They don't stress you out. You're no longer angry. You're no longer stressed. You're no longer fearful. You've lost the confusion, right? You understand what you need to do in order to achieve that life you want. And it's such a cool feeling. And that's where freedom is. That's where you're living with freedom, abundance, confidence. You've lost the fear. And at the end of the day, you're living life on your own terms. And it is an awesome, awesome feeling. But remember, just to reiterate, there's two things, right? You remember the two most important things you need to do. The first one is to embrace an effective and proven process that works. Again, whether it's Thrive Path or not, I don't care. I want you to succeed in your life financially and professionally and relationship-wise in all aspects of your life. Embrace a proven process that works. And then number two, well, what was it? Take action, right? Because a process without action is just that, a process, and it will get you nowhere. These are the two things, the commonalities of all of our successful students that have gone through the Thrive Path Academy. They embraced the process and they took action. That was the difference between those that succeed and others that failed. Look, you have what it takes right now in you to succeed. I guarantee you. As I said earlier, I have seen some of the worst situations completely turn around and transform. You have what it takes. You have the greatest power, and that's the power to choose. Your financial life is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. It's your choice, and it's not something to sit back and wait for. It's something for you to go out and get, and you have what it takes. And it has nothing to do with your education. It has nothing to do with your financial literacy. It has nothing to do with your overall education. It has nothing to do with your background. You have what it takes right now. But it takes process and action. So let me wrap up there. I just want to wrap up with a couple of questions for you to ponder after this video and for the next several days. I implore you to really ponder these three questions. The first one is, what is holding you back from taking action? Not today, right now. What is holding you back from taking action and embracing a process, any process, an effective process? What is holding you back from taking action right now? Number two, what are the consequences to you and your family if you don't take action right now? What are the consequences if you don't take action, embrace a process? What are those consequences? And number three, I want you to ponder If you look forward 5 years from now, what will your life look like? What will your life and your family's life look like if you don't take action today? What are those consequences 5 years from now if you don't take action? All right. I think these are some very, very powerful questions you need to ask yourself, and ask your partner the same thing, because it's important that you're both are on the same page, assuming you have a partner. All right. Because it's important that you guys are working together in tandem on this, because I know you both want to have an amazing life together in the future. So with that all in there, I've got a ton of free stuff on my website that you can download right now to start your journey to financial freedom and peace of mind. And again, reminder, don't forget to ring that bell and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you on what you're thinking and some of the information that you want, because it helps me create content on the things that you need, and I know the things that you want. So until next time, we'll see you again. Upward and onward. Bye-bye.